set of skills.
This is your last chance. Warning.
Systems accessed. Activate.
Man, oh, shivets. It's time.
It's draft.
And not just the draft of that everyone's excited for,
Yes.
which, of course, is the Stinko de Mayo one, not the stupid one with the NFL.
Already starting the pessimism, huh?
Yeah.
all these rumors. Look at all these rumors
Yes.
about the Eagles trading out and then trying to trade back in, and
Yes, the Eagles have decided to
doing
trade.
the do-si-do.
Yeah, the Eagles have decided to trade again for Carson Wentz and give up 5 first-round picks for the guy they just got rid of. That's
Oh
what they're gonna
man,
end up
they're
doing.
like, you put your right foot in, you put your right foot out,
Yes.
take your first draft pick and you shove it up your ass.
Exactly. That's what it feels like.
Well,
yeah, it's just nerve-wracking because you
yeah.
never know. Like these fucking assholes don't know what they're doing.
For those that don't know and are new to Digging in the Dome, welcome.
Oh, well, hooray!
We started this podcast around this time, close to this time last year. We're about a month in last year, and the NFL draft was happening. And despite sports not happening, they still did the NFL draft because of the COVID issues that were going on at the time. So
A little something called COVID. I've heard of it.
That just made me think of the bit from In Living Color where he was David Allen Greer was like the blues singer, and he's wrote a song about it. Like here you go.
Here you go.
Thank you very much. Fucking like that shit.
What a great TV show.
But so the draft was going on, and Chris and I were discussing what we thought was going to happen with our respective teams. Chris is an Eagles fan. I am a Steelers fan. I was saying that I wanted a particular player who actually ended up going to Eagles in the second round and caused all kinds of ruckus. The Mr. Jalen Hurts, who is now the heir apparent to the throne quarterback.
Right now it is.
But Chris had loathsomely basically prognosticated what actually ended up happening, which was he wanted Justin Jefferson. He had predicted that Justin Jefferson was going to be available when the Eagles were drafting. And he predicted that they were not going to take him. They were going to fuck around and take somebody else. And lo and behold,
they did. And just for people that are just curious, if you're not a big football person, Justin Jefferson in his rookie year had 88 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And in case you're not a football fan, that's really good. That's better than most people.
Not only is it really good, it was the most yards ever by a rookie in the history of NFL football. So what did Jalen Reagor do?
Who? I think they were trying to make a run on Reagor.
Like Rygar, that old Nintendo game?
I'd rather have that. He comparatively had a... he had 31 receptions.
How many yards?
396.
Was that 400?
No. Almost. So if you add
more than
4 and 1,000, you would have as many yards as Justin Jefferson.
Holy shit.
If you added another 57 catches, as much as Justin Jefferson, and many more touchdowns, just markedly better.
So I had, after the draft happened, I was pissed because the Steelers did not take Jalen Hurts. They took a wide receiver out of Notre Dame by the name of Chase Claypool. And at the time, I was pissed. I didn't want Claypool. I didn't think they needed a wide receiver. And I said that if he ended up being awesome, because I didn't want him, he would end up being awesome. I would buy his merch. And if you've watched any episodes of this podcast, Chase Claypool turned out to be pretty fucking awesome. And
he had 62 receptions, double
Jalen
Hurts had, or Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Jalen Hurts probably had more receptions than fucking Jalen Reagor. 873 yards and 9 touchdowns. 9.
Oh, and the Eagles passed on him too. Just FYI.
I know.
So
I know. It's great.
But yeah, so I have a Mapletron sweatshirt at home. So we're super excited for the NFL draft. Maybe a little pessimistic. The draft.
The draft.
Oh, it's a little draft.
Yeah, yeah.
But maybe a bit pessimistic. But I'm very much hoping that one Najee Harris, the running back from Alabama, falls to the Steelers at 24. That would make me very, very happy. The Eagles are in a very interesting position.
Yes.
Are 12.
They're 12. That's correct.
And so there's a very good chance that they could get one of the best corners or one of the best wide receivers in the draft. The funny thing is that we're talking about that right foot in, right foot out, trade back up. Mm-hmm. The rumor is that they want to get in front of the Cowboys because the Cowboys are picking at 10 or 11, I think. So
it's literally like Cowboys, Giants,
yeah.
Eagles.
So they're like,
I got to get in front of these assholes.
Exactly.
Who's going to take everybody that I want?
Yeah. So they got whoever has 9, they're going to try. They're going to be trying like a mofo to get that 9th pick.
Yep.
So while we're talking about the draft, I texted you the other night. So my cousin and his family, they're huge Penguins fans. Mm-hmm. They live out in Western PA. My cousin has season tickets. So he only has 2 tickets, but the whole family wants to go.
To Paradise?
Jeez. Oh boy. You're going to have to drop in you're going to have to drop in your your trash sense of humor and then that video.
Hi, how you folks doing? I'm Mo, or as the ladies like to call me, hey you behind the bushes. Is this thing on?
Fucking A. So
gotta throw one in. Every once in a while.
So he buys 4 tickets against like club box seats, like kind of like the seats that we had when we went to the Sixers a couple years ago.
Sure. So that's awesome. Those are great seats.
So so he's there
around.
And he texts me. He's like, hey, you're not going to believe this, but Cam Hayward from the Steelers is literally sitting right next to us. He's in like the box right next to us.
He's like a ridiculously good football player.
Defensive end / defensive tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, all pro.
He's
amazing. So I text my cousin. I'm like, that's awesome. You tell him that I saw his dad's dick when I was 12 and see what he says. My cousin is like, what?
He's like, hey, Mr. Hayward, did he give Kevin? You walk it back like, what?
Well, he said he said he was a really cool guy, super down to earth, very nice. He was like, they were
probably because he's getting hired as his dad's giant genitalia. Probably got a giant dick, so he's got no worries. He's like, I'm a great football player, a millionaire, and my dick, I could use it to fucking pry open a fucking
broken elevator door.
Yeah.
So my cousin's, he was so cool. We were just shooting the shit like 2 dads just talking in between periods at intermission. So I was like, did you tell him about me seeing his dad's thing? He's like, no, I didn't. It didn't manage to come up in the casual conversation. I'm going to tell you fine folks about it.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, Cam Hayward is the son of the late Craig Ironhead Hayward, as he was called.
Well, wonder why.
Well, you're going to discover why. So at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
So rewind back to my middle school years. So we talked about how my dad's an educator, taught at Wildwood High, talked about him being Frankie Vogel's history teacher.
Yep.
So one of the other people that he taught at Wildwood High School was a football player by the name of Billy Osborne. Billy Osborne ends up at University of Pittsburgh. So he's playing for the Pitt Panthers. There at the time when Billy's playing is Cam Hayward's dad, Ironhead Hayward. And he's a beast of a running back, like an absolute beast. So this is when Pitt football was actually like pretty damn good.
Yep.
So Billy invites my dad and me to the game. They're going to play Penn State in Pitt, which is like a huge deal. They don't really play that rivalry too much anymore, but at the time when they did and it was good, it was great. So we go there. We go to the game. It's amazing. Pitt actually won. Went into the locker room after the game, and I see Ironhead Hayward there, and I'm like, do you think it'd be okay if I asked him for his autograph? And Billy's like, I don't know, man. He's not really like that. He's like, he'll probably just put like an X over his picture. Cause I have like the program, you know what I mean? With like all their pictures and stuff. He's like, he'll probably just like throw an X over his picture or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, whatever, I'm going to ask him. So he's doing press interviews. And those who have never been in a sports locker room, most of the time, college professional, when they're doing interviews, they haven't even gotten dressed yet. So Ironhead has a button down shirt on, nothing else. And there's a reason they call him Ironhead, because his dick is out, and I'm 12. So
Kevin's like,
I mean,
Daddy, why is his thing 1,000 times larger than mine?
Yeah, man. It's like, this dude's fucking strapped, and I'm like, no fear. I'm like, fuck it. I don't care if his dick's out. I want his autograph. Right. That's some real gumption for a 12-year-old to go face first with a giant black hog.
Mother of God.
And I'm like, I'm going in. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I go up to him in my program. He's super nice. He like shoos the press guy away. And he's like, what's up, man? I was like, I just want to get your autograph. And he signs it, signs his autograph, full name, everything, number.
He did it with his dick. He's like,
yeah, exactly. So he hands me the program back, and I'm like ecstatic. I turn around and like hold the program up, and I like yell across to Billy Osborne, and I was like, Billy, look, he didn't sign it with an X. He signed his name, and you. Ironhead Hayward stared fucking daggers through Billy Osborne. He's like, what did you tell this little shit? He's like, what did you tell this little motherfucker that I was going to just put an X over my picture?
Oh, man.
He's like, I'm going to light you up in practice tomorrow.
Oh, dude, can you imagine? You're like, listen, about the X thing. Yeah. I don't know what that 12-year-old white boy was saying to you, but that was some bullshit.
Yeah, he's lying.
He's a lying son of a bitch. Now, I got to ask, because I remember this story as well. Kevin, you're like a giant cock whisperer or something, because didn't you go into the Sixers locker room and see Arm & Hammer's hammer?
Well, so I was very lucky that my father
they got to see two giant penises.
Well, that too. Got to know what disappointment is real early in life.
Well, I ain't got that.
Yeah,
I ain't never gonna have that. So,
but
I got to learn skills.
So I was lucky that my dad, not only did he manage to be a teacher of what turned out to be amazing professional athletes and head coaches, but
good on your dad.
Also, I mean, because Billy did a stint with the Eagles. He played for the Eagles for like 2 or 3 years. He got a neck injury that knocked him out of football. But my dad was also the bartender at the Dead Dog Saloon, and all like the Sixer scorekeepers and anybody that would like in Sixer sports that would like, or Philly sports that would vacation at the shore would come in there, especially if they were older, because the Dead Dog was more of like a brass rail collared shirt, like not like the sloppy shore.
Like directly across the street from that, like a couple of doors down is La Costa, where it's like fucking Thunderdome.
Exactly.
You get killed in that place.
So he knew one of the scorekeepers. He knew one of the guys there. This guy, Bob the Dude O'Dowd, who was like a all-purpose, all-knowing person within the Philadelphia 76ers. So at the time when they played at the Spectrum, there's a bar called Ovations.
And oh, shit.
That bar connected, and you had to have like passes to get into it. It was like the Lexus Club before the Lexus Club existed. Right. So we would get passes to go down in there. And sometimes I would get hallway access to the locker room, because the locker room actually connected. You could walk from the locker room into Ovations. A lot of times the players would come out. Sometimes they would hang out at the bar, get drinks. Sometimes they would exit out that way because it was just easier, especially if they didn't want to talk to the press or anything like that.
Trying to avoid them.
So I used to go to Sixers games all the time. Sometimes I would bring friends. And this one time I brought our friend Frank Corrado. Frank was a huge David Robinson fan. He loved the Spurs. So they happened to be playing the Spurs. So I bring Frank. We get to go down to the locker room. So we actually this time get to go into the locker room, and this is when Barkley's playing. Barkley was playing at the time. Kinds of fucking cool. So we go into the locker room, and there's a player from the Sixers whose name is Armin Gilliam.
Yes,
and his nickname was Armin Hammer, and I always thought it was a beautiful play on words with Armin Hammer baking soda. Yeah, and plus he throw down mean dunks. Yeah, he was just nasty. Yeah, just a nasty dude. His dick was so big that I was flummoxed. It was like freak show big, yeah,
right?
It was like out of. It was not it didn't seem real. You know what I mean? It was
like
just
hentai
like,
porn.
I'm like, stop fucking her. That's not your real dick, man. Put that elephant trunk away.
Yeah.
Go get your real
you
dick.
expected to pop it off like,
Yeah, it's
just fooling. Gotcha.
It was, I was flabbergasted.
Oh.
Like, I saw that thing in my nightmares for,
Yes, my wet dreams.
months.
My Lord.
But Barkley actually turned out to be, he was super cool too. He actually, because Frank had a David Robinson jersey on, and we walk in and he had like a fleece over top of it. Barkley's like, yo man, you might want to zip up that fleece. He said that David Robinson jersey underneath it. And Frank's like,
Okay.
He's like slowly zippers it up.
Yes, sir.
He's like, you're good, man. Come over. What's up, man? You guys having a good time?
Yeah.
I got his autograph too.
It's like, step right up. See the giant penis over here. It's like,
dude, it was like,
freak show, Barker.
seriously. Yeah. So Armin had a hammer.
God
yeah.
damn.
And, I mean, Armin Hammer put Ironhead to shame.
Yeah.
So I've had hammers and iron heads
You sure?
in
Yeah,
my
well,
face as a young lad.
Good news. We have a name for this podcast. Hammers and Iron Heads.
Indeed we do.
Yes. Well
Oh,
done.
shit.
As per usual, you come up with a good one, my friend. Cheers to you.
Yes, sir. So it's an exciting time here at Digging in the Dome.
It is, but before we get into that, only
Yes.
because we have to just
Promote.
So a couple things. One, we had Sarah Tolomash back on the podcast
We did.
again, and it was fucking great.
Yep.
And she's hilarious.
Yep.
And wonderful. So she will be playing in Royersford, Pennsylvania at Soul Joel's May 14th. And she's going to be co-headlining with Adriana Appalucci, excuse me. So definitely, if you want to get tickets, go and do that. Make sure that you say when you buy the
In the
tickets
comment
online,
section
that you're in the Digging in the Dome group, so you don't get put with some Spring City ne'er-do-wells.
or just tell them. I mean, if you don't have to sit with our crew, but if you're going and you're a listener, just tell them that you're with the Digging in the Dome podcast sent you there. It's good. It's good promotion for us. It's good promotion for Sarah since she was on the podcast. It's good for everybody. So just tell them you were sent by Digging in the Dome. It'll be good stuff.
Yes, do it. Just fucking do it. No.
Yeah.
And then, so that was exciting. She was great. Kevin brought up, of course, the Bob Kelly because he had
yes,
to.
indeed.
Cocksucker. But it was fun to have her on, and I'm sure we'll have her on again soon. But
and also,
and
we have stickers.
We have merch.
Yeah. So our first merch came in. The logo, as I'm sure you've seen, if you follow us on social media. Designed by Cam Werner from Canvas Design Company, and the stickers printed by Sticker Mule. They did an amazing job. We have those available.
Kevin had to make sure he got a stickers from a place that had the dick colloquialism mule. He's like, hammers, heads, mules.
Exactly. Dicker Mule.
Well, maybe this is a good time to mention the place that we're going to be potentially doing some sponsoring with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So now we'll get to that. We'll
talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later.
Let's just say that it also has things to do with genitalia. Kevin seems to have a fucking theme. You wonder why I'm handing out hand jobs by this guy. He can handle a dick, apparently.
Yeah. Seen enough of them, apparently.
Giant ones, like fucking mythological. You saw the Bigfoot of dicks.
The big dick of foots.
The skunk cake of dicks.
Oh man,
shit.
But so we got a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yes, always.
We'll be selling the stickers, giving some away.
Yep,
all that good stuff. Definitely going to be part of the giveaway with this next fabulous time of year.
Ladies and gentlemen,
upon us again.
It is the second annual Stinko de Mayo tournament.
Bienvenidos, señores and señoras. Welcome to the second annual Stinko de Mayo tournament.
It's the perfect time.
Yes.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
How exciting is this, dude?
This is amazing.
Dude.
Yeah, I know how much you've been looking forward to this.
I loved it last year.
Yeah.
And we did the 90s, which was great.
Yeah.
And so this year, we really talked about, narrowing it a little bit, because if we do this podcast for like any more than a few years, but we're going to run out of years. So we're going to go back into the fucking 50s and people are talking about the honeymooners.
We're singing about the 1920s.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Skidoo. Yeah, no one's going to want to hear about that shit. So,
oh, man, the vapors, they sucked.
Yeah, exactly. I got dropsy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Great Depression.
Yeah, great. We talk about Herbert Hoover. Fantastic. No one will ever listen again. So we have to like narrow the years. And so we were texting back and forth. I was talking to Kevin about it. And Kevin had the initial concern that there would not be enough bad in a shortened, because we went from a decade to 5 years.
Yeah, so we're doing 2000 to 2005.
So Kevin, when you did your early research
Yes.
here on the 2000 to 2005,
I immediately changed my tune. I texted you and I said, I can't believe how bad this is.
Yeah.
Because I was originally like, maybe we just do music and movies, since we're doing such a finite period of time.
Yep.
And for those who didn't listen previously, we did music, movies, TV, and fads/trends.
Yeah, whatever.
So that's what we did for the 90s last year. So I'm like, we're only doing 5 years. It's kind of hard to stick a year to certain fads and trends.
Yep.
How are we going to do that? I was like, maybe we just do movies and TV. And then I started looking at the music, and I was like, oh, we got to get music in there. And then I even started looking at the fat. I'm like, all right, there's plenty of dog shit in the first 5 years of the 2000s to get through.
It's amazing. Like when you go back and look at stuff, you're just like, I don't remember it being that bad. And then you're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I can't believe how bad it was.
Yeah, it's bad.
Really, really excessively bad.
So I'll run down the more specific things. So Chris, this was Chris's idea, and together we worked out the kinks last year. So it's a 32 seed tournament. So it's not a full 64. And the reason we did this was last year there was no March Madness. So we were kind of pissed that because of COVID, there was no sports going on. And we're like, how do we, kind of tie sports and, and the things that we lament on this podcast together. And Chris came up with this for Stinko de Mayo, called Stinko de Mayo.
Yes.
It's a month-long venture.
Yes.
Chris and I will draft the seeds similar to our draft that we do at the end of our podcast episodes. So we're going to actually do the draft of what gets seeded, and then we are going to leave it up to you fine folks to do the actual voting on who advances.
And so the important thing about this is if you participate, you can win fabulous prizes.
Yes.
Like merch. And we're going to continue our trend of the previous year, which is to give you 1,000 pesos.
Yes.
Which is $50. We'll send it to you in a gift card, and we'll get you a shirt and stuff like that. So yeah, it's important that you participate in this, and then you try to win, fill out those brackets, get them into us, and then vote.
Yeah, we're going to,
important.
A lot of the voting is going to be done via social media. So follow us on Instagram, Digging in the Dome, at Digging in the Dome, or on Twitter at Digging Dome.
Because some asshole took me. I still find that motherfucker. Be like, look, you need to leave Twitter. I'm going to fucking dox him.
I'll give you a sticker if you let us have it.
May I have? Please give me your handle.
And we're also on Facebook too. So
same thing. And
we'll have voting available there. We'll compile all the votes.
Also on TikTok.
Oh, fucking Christ.
But you
should be ashamed.
I am. I got duped into it by my daughter. Duped. I know. She's very convincing. Yeah. I said the last podcast.
So I have a bird flying around your house right now.
Exactly. That's
hey man, it's better than birds flying in your face. Take it from somebody who knows.
giant birds like pterodactyls. Scary, giant, deadly. Man, poor Kevin. Goddamn.
So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to flip a coin who goes first,
as we always do,
and then we're going to spin the topic randomizer. So we're going to flip the coin. It's going to come up to me or Chris, whoever gets the first pick of whatever comes up category wise in the topic randomizer.
Yep.
And that's how we're going to go through it. So, and then we'll alternate, picks by going through the topic randomizer wheel. So again, 2000, 2005, TV, movies, fads/trends, and music.
Yeah. So, the interesting thing too, like, as we talk about, the different like horribleness that you see. Because the other thing too, that's really difficult when you're doing this is to like weed through the chafe a little bit, because there were some things in there that I legitimately didn't remember. So part of like your strategy when you're doing something like this is to make sure that you are picking things that people will know.
Yeah.
Like if you go like too
obscure is like, yeah, work, especially with the TV shows, because there were some real bad TV shows that like I had never heard of, that people will just be like, what the fuck is that? I've never heard of it, so I'm not going to vote for it.
Right.
But at the same time, some of those are also the absolute worst. And if you hear about them, like the Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer in last year's,
so fucking bad, man.
Or Homeboys from Outer Space, for that matter.
I don't like you disparaging Homeboys from Outer Space. I particularly like that one. I thought that it was a fine.
I didn't say it was a bad pick. I said it was a bad show.
Very possibly, yes, it was a bad show.
But we're gonna get things rolling here.
Yeah,
we're gonna do the entire seating, and then over the next few weeks through the month of May, we're gonna reveal the votes, what's advancing, talk about what shoulda, shouldn't have advanced, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
and it'll be quite fun, and it'll certainly hopefully come down to one each of our picks.
Because last year was. Did we figure out what the song was? Was it music?
No, it was a TV show. It was a Baby Talk.
Dude.
Yeah, the Tony Danza voiced inner monologue of a baby spin-off TV show of Look Who's Talking.
Fucking bad.
Versus your net proceeds of $181,000 movie with Carrot Top, chairman of the board.
People apparently remembered it because they voted for that like a motherfucker. So one of the things that I added here is I was actually just manipulating the.
Hey, no manipulating the draft. You said manipulate.
I know, but you didn't let me finish. The next word was coming out, you cocksucker.
Was it cheating?
No, it was not. I'm not Lady Cheaterly. No, what I was doing was I was putting in one thing on the wheel, and I'll show you in a second as soon as I finish that. And there we go. And okay. All right, that's it. I'm done. Oh, I have to put a title of Stinko. That's the name of the wheel now. All right.
Stinky.
The
stinky wheel.
It's the stink. Well, everyone loves that. All right, here we go. So
we got to flip it
here is
it's
got Fads, TV, movie, music.
Ooh, and host choice.
It's got a host choice.
Okay.
So we got an opportunity that
if it lands on that, I can pick whatever you can pick. Right. So now I got to flip the coin.
All right. So this is to determine who's going to spin first and then draft first, right?
So it's just whoever drafts. You can spin it. I don't give a shit. But it's just whoever gets first pick. So it's whatever comes up.
All right,
so flip it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it in the air.
Yeah. Heads.
Fuck.
All right. So I get first pick of whatever comes up.
Dude, you're so excited because Kevin said earlier that there was something that he wanted to make sure that he had the first pick on.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll land.
We'll see.
We're going to see if Kevin gets his
spinning.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, man. Can I see it?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Ready?
There we go. Yep.
Oh wait, Jesus. Sorry, an ad came up. Because
Chris has put ads in everything. If you haven't noticed from the podcast,
suck my dick. All right, do you want to touch it? Would you
no,
do you want to kiss it? What? Kiss what?
Yeah, just hit it. I'm good with you. Spin it. Yeah, go for it.
And go.
Come on, give me some of that sweet, sweet pap.
Music.
Oh, yes.
Kevin gets the first pick of music. And by the way, what you're going to see, and Kevin, you'll see it too when it's all said and done, is I have a interactive bracket that you're going to see these picks actually pop into as we were taking them. So,
and I'm sure we'll put, clips or pictures or audio, and we're going to dump all that
We're going to doll it all up for you. Don't worry about it.
Ah, man. There's no way I can't do it again.
Oh, Mother of God.
Our old friends. Again, I got music. 2000, 2005. Our old friends. My first pick last year.
And so it's just, Kevin, if you'd like me to tee it up, what song would you like to?
We'll get there in a second.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
You could take your you could take your choice, but there are two that were in this time period of 2000 to 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, our old friends Nickelback have returned. Nickelback is my first pick.
My God.
For worst of 2000 to 2005. So they were a number 1 seed in the inaugural
Wow.
Jeez, oh man, that's a hard word.
Yeah,
Inaugural.
Inaugural.
They were, so they were formed and released their first album in the 90s.
Yep.
Hence my pick last year.
Yep.
But they achieved prominence in the early 2000s with not 1 but 2 hit songs.
Whoa.
From 2000 to 2005.
Calm down with the hick. The hit. The hit songs.
2 hit songs. They were huge songs. I mean, listen, we've discussed this before. Popularity does not preclude it being terrible. So just because it's popular doesn't mean that it's good.
There
and
is
these
a lot of bad.
2 songs, the first one being "This Is How You Remind Me"
This is
in 2002,
you remind me.
and what could potentially be the worst song of the decade,
Ever.
"Photograph" in
Look at
2000.
the photograph.
Look at it.
Look at this fucking thing.
In 2005. I mean, it's practically mandatory per social law to make fun of Nickelback whenever the opportunity arises.
You have to.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's how could I not take them number 1?
Horrible.
Yeah,
like
they're
they absolutely belong in here. It
Yes.
was literally the first one on my list. The top.
Yep. So 2002 was "This Is How You Remind Me," and then 2005 was "Photograph." So they were doubly terrible in 2000 to 2005.
Dude, they're so bad, and I'm upset that you got music.
And it's funny
equally
too
upset.
because "This Is How You Remind Me" looks so much better in comparison to "Photograph." Like I'd
And
rather
it's-
listen to "This Is How You Remind Me" 1,000 times
Any
over
day.
than
Any
listen
day.
to "Photograph."
Look at this photograph. You just literally want to just take your car and drive it off of a goddamn bridge, crash into something and die because they are goddamn terrible. It's
Nickelback,
so
number 1 seed
fucking
in music.
bad.
Cool. You're up for 2, sir.
Mother of God. Well, this is going to be pretty tough, but I've got some bad stuff here. I feel like I have to counter the Nickelback.
Okay.
And the best way to counter a Nickelback is with a Creed.
Oh, yeah. Two for 2 back to back. Same picks as last year.
Dude,
last decade.
Listen,
I mean,
I'm not saying Creed is worse than 9/11, but just hear me out for a minute, okay? Let's say somebody said, like, presenting you with the ability to go back in time to September 10th, 2011.
Right.
Okay. And you will have all the knowledge that you have right now, all of it.
yeah.
But
Yes.
every song that you ever hear on the radio will be either the song, or no, it will only be the song Higher.
Okay. Was it what year? It was higher. What 2000 and
Like,
2001?
I don't know if that's the song from that. I don't know if that Higher was in.
Or was that in the 90s? I don't remember. I don't. I know they were still.
I know it was on the cusp. So I think it was on 2000.
Okay, because I knew they were like it was right around the time when like they were like getting to the end of their rope.
Yes.
But they were still there, but it was closed. The window was closing.
Now here's what I want you to think about. This Faustian deal is you can go back in time.
Okay.
Prevent 9/11.
Yes.
You're just, the other part of it is you're going back into your age then. Like, so this is true time travel. You're going to be young Kevin in 2001, September 10th, 2001. But every song that you hear ever, everybody else could be hearing different music. You can only hear the song Higher. You would totally do it, but you'd have to think about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would stop it
Just a little.
but then I would probably, I'd probably only live another 6 months because that would drive
kill yourself.
you insane. You would never listen to music ever again. You'd just put earplugs in.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You'd be in the car. You and I would be in the car, and you'd be like about to turn the radio on. I'd be like, "If you turn that fucking radio,
I swear to God, I will kill you.
I'll pull the emergency brake on this.
I'm
bitch.
taking this all out. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? It's just fucking, it's fine.
Dude, Creed is horrendous. It's nonsensical, like pseudo-religious.
They're just, they're
listen,
god-awful.
we talked about them so much about how they just were like pervasive, and Scott Stapp, I believe, is the name of the lead singer.
That's correct.
He was like he was very much a douchebag. He was such a dick that he got in a fight with 311, and you know much of an asshole you have to be to get in a fist fight with 311.
They all they do is smoke weed and play fucking reggae music, and you're like, "Let's go, motherfucker!"
we talked.
What are you looking at? You don't like Jesus?
we talked about it in one of the other podcasts. Like my cousin and his sister, my other cousin, they got to go backstage and meet 311, and he said they were alarmingly nice. Like he was like Tim Mahoney was so nice to me. It was kind of off-putting because I was like, why isn't he acting like
a rock star?
Yeah, like he's just like being the nicest guy in the world. It's really weird. So that's how big of an asshole you are that you get in a fight with 311.
Yeah, you have to be a real shitbag.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what they are. So
it's an excellent pick. All right, so you got one more before it comes back to me.
So this is tough because there's two that I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between.
Okay.
But God, do I go?
To go with you, you're going for the votes.
Well, I think that either one of these people are going to be like, boo. But I'm going to go with the one that I think is more universally hated because they just fucking suck.
Okay.
The Pussycat Dolls.
On my list. 100% on my list.
Like, literally, the least talented fucking useless. Literally, they are... just like any like boy band or something like that, they just got thrown together. It's just a bunch of people that they're not like musicians together. They're garbage.
Yeah, it was like let's remake the Spice Girls, but slutty and insufferable.
Yeah, the slutty part I could deal with, but don't act like you're fucking musicians. What's wrong with you, man? They dance, they sing, they suck.
Yeah, and here's the worst part: they sold 55 million records.
That is infuriating. Infuriating. There's great musicians out there that if you took all their albums combined and then added them to everybody else in their shitty indie label, wouldn't even be a tenth of that.
Here's how bad they were. They sold 55 million records. Their debut album, PCD, standing for Pussycat Dolls, I'm assuming.
Spoiler.
They had the hit song Don't Ya in 2005, basically by latching on to Busta Rhymes like a team of succubusses.
Yes.
Succubuses? Succubi?
Mm-hmm.
Succubus?
Singular? I hope they're succubi.
Whatever.
Fucking eating each other's pussies while they're sucking Busta Rhymes' dick.
Anyway, they were gone by 2009.
Done.
4 years.
Yep.
Boom. Done.
Gone.
Yeah. All 9 of their lives spent.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. The lead, I guess the lead vocalist, even though you can't really call them vocalists because they all stink. I can't even say her last name.
Like
Nicole Scherzinger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheshire Cat from the Pussycat Dolls. Nicole Cheshire.
She fucking stinks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at like Destiny's Child. At least they had fucking Beyonce. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They had some people that like,
but that's why I compared them to the Spice Girls, because like, who do you pick out of the Spice Girls? Who like the lead singer? Like, who is the best Spice Girl? You know what I mean?
I prefer Paprika. Sometimes a little cumin will be nice.
Oregano spice.
Now, saffron can be a little bit much in large doses. Food humor. Yeah.
So, so number 1 seed, Nickelback. Number 2 seed, Creed. Number 3 seed, Pussycat Dolls. All right. So I'm on for 2.
Yes, you are, sir.
Oh, man. And I'm excited for these 2.
All right.
Because they were the
one that I wanted.
They were they're the next 2 on my list.
Okay.
So number 2 for me is Train. Train is the 4 seed. Is Nickelback too hardcore for you? Then let me introduce you to Train.
Oh, god damn, man.
They are the musical equivalent of a melted bowl full of vanilla ice cream.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So they achieved commercial success with their song Drops of Jupiter, parenthesis, Tell Me, in 2001.
I'd rather have drops of mercury put into my eyeballs.
But I mean, you know a song is terrible when they have to put like one of the lyrics from the song in the like after the title.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, hey, do you know that song Drops of Jupiter? And people are like, no. And then you go, you know, the one that goes, tell me, did you sail across the sun? And they go, oh yeah, that song fucking sucks.
Yes. Why are you singing this? I like you less now that you started knowing the words to that.
So yeah. So 2001, Drops of Jupiter,
yeah,
parenthesis, Tell Me comes out. I mean, you were comparing 9/11 to have to listen to Creed on repeat.
Yeah, for sure.
When given the choice to be hit by or listen to Train, you would definitely have to think about it.
Yeah, as soon as
hit by Train or listen to Train.
I'd be like this. I'd be like, lean in a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know. Train sucks.
So, Train is great. Train is really bad.
And it was definitely on my list.
And I guarantee you, if we do 2006 to 2010, which we will, they'll be back.
Yes. Listen, some of these shit bands are like boomerangs. They just keep on coming back around again. So don't be surprised. So that was a great pick. What else you got? What's next?
Man. So the 5 seed.
Oh boy.
Oh man, this is a good one because they could have qualified for the 90s draft. And I was surprised that they didn't. Because when they achieved commercial success with their songs Walking on the Sun and All Star in 1999,
it hurts your stomach.
Smash Mouth has continued to carry on success into the 2000s.
Well, let me tell you, we're going to take a second here to tell you a little story about a conference that I went to with Paycheck.
Okay.
So sometimes what happens is when you've got 1,000 people that are going to a beautiful island resort, you got to entertain them. But you got 1,000 people. So, we're fiscally responsible. We got a very nice margin, nice dividend.
Yeah, man.
There's a reason for that. We're not buying.
Gotta keep that ERISA large, yo.
Bring it. I don't want Beyonce. That's going to be extremely expensive, along with 1,000 other motherfuckers I got to feed and booze up.
Yep.
Well, guess what? They said, who can we get on this tier? And that tier is way down here. And it was Smash Mouth. Now, the interesting thing about that is the musical guest, as it often is a mystery. Yep. Right. So we don't know who's going to be coming and doing a little concert for us. So we've had a lot of people. We've had Sugar Ray there.
Right.
We had Flo Rida. We had Fits in the Tantrums.
Yeah.
Like we had some pretty good acts. And then we had Smash Mouth. But we didn't know Smash Mouth. It was Smash Mouth. So everyone, like, as we're like mulling around the pool during the day drinking, sessions that we were having, we're like, who do you think it is? And then all of a sudden someone's like, oh no, they were on Twitter and they show a picture of Smash Mouth on their plane and like, on our way to the Bahamas. And we were all like, no, no, right? So all of a sudden, Smash Mouth shows up.
Yes.
And they play a concert for us, if you could call it that.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, this. So the lead singer, whose name escapes me, I'm not going to look it up because I don't remember his stupid head. He looked like an uncle, right? And he was drinking red wine. He had red wine. He's like, somebody, what are you looking at? Well, I'm an all-star. Literally, it was embarrassingly bad. Everyone left. There was like 5 people left in there. They were playing to a room of like 5 because they suck so bad.
So the reason that they qualify for the 2000s, even though they qualified for the 90s, and we didn't pick them, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
But the reason, because that was because Walking on the Sun and All Star were like 1997 and 99 respectively, I think, somewhere around the neighborhood. But in 2001. They released the cover for the Monkees' I'm a Believer.
Which we'll put in
that was
here.
From the movie Shrek in 2001.
So Kevin just effectively ruined your day because that song is going to pop in now and you're going to hear it and be really mad at him.
So just imagine,
as you should be.
Just imagine that one of your most popular songs is a cover of a song written by a pseudo fake TV show band from the 60s. And you had to share the chorus with Eddie Murphy playing a talking donkey.
I would rather hear Eddie Murphy singing as a talking donkey than I'd rather hear Mr. Randy Watson, another Eddie Murphy character, than stupid Smash Mouth.
Oh man, that is just peak terribleness right there.
Awful.
They deserved to be picked in the 90s and they weren't, so I'm certainly taking them here.
Well done.
We have Nickelback,
Creed
1 seed, Creed 2 seed, Pussycat Dolls 3 seed, Train 4 seed, Smash Mouth 5 seed. So you were on for the 6 and 7 and then back to me for the final 8 seed.
So of course this is very hard because there's a lot of bad.
Yes.
But I got to say one of those songs that just sticks in your head. And is we're going to stick in the rock genre here a little bit.
Okay.
Is Papa Roach. cut my life into pieces. This is my last big thorn. How bad is Papa Roach?
Dude, I liked that song when it came out, dude. I loved it.
But now,
oh man,
embarrassed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure are. People hate Papa Roach, and for good reason. They fucking suck. Besides that shit song that I just sang that everybody hates, what other songs do you know by them?
Man. It's
zero. They're terrible. And they deserve to be in this draft.
Oh man, I'm gonna confess, not on my list.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bad, mind you. A lot of bad.
Yeah, I kind of steered away from the after my Limp Bizkit pick.
Oh yeah,
that was the last Stinko de Mayo. I kind of steered clear from the new metal because people seem to still like that. It's kind of holding on. It's coming back a little bit.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure people aren't going to like Papa Roach or Nickelback or
Papa Roach is a. Oh man, I liked that song when it came out, man.
But
I'm not gonna lie,
that band fucking sucks. Now this one was relatively easy, and this is going to be a popular / unpopular choice here.
Okay,
and it's going to be interesting because I think that the crowd's going to be divided on this one a teeny bit, but most people I think are going to really jump into this. This is definitely a crowd pick.
Okay,
the Jonas Brothers. Let me tell you,
that's good. Oh man, I don't know, man. You're not gonna get the female vote on that one.
I beg to differ. Yeah. Now, if you said so, what you don't realize is the Jonas Brothers have had much more commercial success now as they're doing other stuff individually. Yeah. This is just that incarnation of them, the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, it's like I took Hanson last time, and they went really far. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So
they're the new Hanson.
They are, and they're again they're a are they good actors? I don't know. Maybe there's some things I've seen. What's his nuts in Nick Jonas that he's okay, I guess. Right. Yeah. They were formed but just remember this. Okay. They were formed in 2005, basically from a Disney Channel show.
Yeah. That's a lot of those
Kevin, Joe, and Nick.
Yeah, those bands came together from, I mean, you look at Justin Timberlake came from Disney Channel, what's her name? Britney Spears came from Disney Channel.
Yeah, Zendaya. There's like all kinds of people, like
Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Montana. Tony Montana.
Tony Montana. Oh, she take a quaalude. She love me again.
Wow. So Jonas Brothers, huh? I'm surprised, man. Again, not on my list.
I'm telling you, I think that you underestimate how many people hate the goddamn Jonas Brothers.
Maybe I do, man. You could be onto something here. I mean, we were shocked how far Hanson went.
Hanson went deep into the tourney. All right, so you got for your
my last pick.
Round it out.
So I am so surprised that you didn't take this because I thought for sure you were going to take it with your last pick.
Which one?
Or with your last two picks. Because we've talked about them relatively recently. And that is Puddle of Mud.
I had them on there. I actually opted. I skipped.
More like Puddle of Diarrhea.
They are real bad. And they were high on the list, but I decided to go to Papa Roach worse because I heard that song. Just like that. I'm like, oh, no, I can't. I have to.
So easily one of the most unlikable bands with easily one of the most unlikable frontmen.
Terrible.
Puddle of Mud had not one but two huge songs in 2001.
It's unreal.
She Hates Me and Blurry.
And you'll hear them.
Yeah. So, well, no fucking shit. She hates you.
Yes.
Everybody hates you.
We all hate you.
Let me tell you, folks. And Chris, I'm sure we'll put this in because this is why we had recently discussed them. I dare you, try and watch them cover About a Girl by Nirvana.
Oh, my Lord. I made a mistake. I should have picked them. That I will put that in. And let me tell you something.
It's one of the most excruciating things you'll watch in your entire life. I promise you.
I cannot believe this is what happens, man. When you get older,
you get lost in the shuffle of all the bad. It's like an avalanche of bad.
I cannot believe because I remember looking at that and You'll see it in
His
a minute, guys.
beet
It is
red, scrunched up face.
It
like
is
he's,
the
like
worst shit you have ever heard. If I wish that we talked about the Easter draft about somebody coming back from dead. I wish that performance made Kurt Cobain, his headless corpse, Kurt Cobain, come back and just fucking and stab that son of a bitch, because it was so. You'll see.
Easy friend, I do, with the head to hand, I do. Thank you for this too, I do. But you have a clue. Take it, then it's wow. You hang me out to dry. I can see you every night. Rain, I do. I'm standing in your line. I do. Hope you have the time. I do. Pick up number 2. I do. Keep on stay with you. Take advantage while you hang me out to dry. I can see you every night.
So bad. And I'm mad. I'm so fucking upset I did not take it.
His screeching attempt at singing that song is
Wes Scantlin?
one of the worst things, dude. They're awful. Awful. They are such a strong 8 seed, and they're going to go against Nickelback, and they may win. They could potentially beat.
I will not be surprised. Especially, listen, this is the sad part about it. And Kevin, this is a brilliant strategy by you. He knows that now I'm going to put that video in there. You're going to hear that and realize just how bad they are, and that may be able to fuel them through like 2 or 3 rounds of this thing.
And that's relatively recently that they did that.
Yes.
Yeah. So go back and look at their.
It's so bad, and you're like, oh my god. Then it would go. By the way, the other thing that really is interesting about this band is when they came into prominence, when they like hit the scene, the person to discover them was none other than Limp Bizkit's Fred Durst.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
He sent his Scantlin sent his demo tape into him to get him noticed, and noticed it got him.
Boy,
Shit definitely can smell out shit apparently. Because he was it's like, you know what? I like you. I like your style.
Oh,
Yick.
man. So I'm putting all this down on paper here.
I got it too. So while we're doing that, so some people that didn't make the cut that I had that
talk it through. Well, because I have
one I had that I really was struggling with, honestly, was Buck Cherry.
Oh, Buck Cherry was on my list.
Cherry's bad.
They were on my list. Yeah, man. They had
what that Time Bomb song. The girl's a time bomb.
No, that's not.
No,
Time
you're
Bomb's
right.
Rancid. What are you talking about?
No, not Time Bomb.
Oh wait, Time Bomb Rancid. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's see. Buck Cherry.
No, Buck Cherry was hey, you're crazy bitch, and you fuck so good, I'm on top of it. And then I love the cocaine. I love the cocaine. That's Buck Cherry.
Is that all right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know why I thought of that song. I thought they sang. I think maybe they covered it.
Dude, Time Bomb's a great song.
No, Time Bomb is an awesome song. I'm saying that I think they may have covered it and ruined it.
That's very possible.
Because we just talked about Puddle of Mud fucking up about a girl. I think that I saw that and it just stuck in my head. But their songs fucking stink. So they were definitely on my list. Didn't make it though.
So the list so far: 1 seed Nickelback, 2 seed Creed, 3 seed Pussycat Dolls, 4 seed Train, 5 seed Smash Mouth, 6 seed Papa Roach, 7 seed was I apologize, I didn't get there.
17 was the Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers.
And then 8 was Puddle of Mud.
So
we have a history of strong 8 seeds. Do you notice that? Chairman of the board that won was an 8 seed.
Yep. So here's what's weird about this time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's very much in the vein of Puddle of Mud.
Yep.
There were so many bands that were like, I got to the end of my research. I just couldn't do it anymore.
There was too much.
I didn't know what the hell was going on in the early 2000s. Nickelback, Train, Puddle of Mud, Matchbox 20, Three Doors Down,
Yep.
Maroon 5,
I had them.
Savage Garden,
Yep.
Lifehouse,
Yep.
Vertical Horizon. They're all the same goddamn band.
Yeah, it's like they just literally hit a cloning machine, but which is pretty standard for the industry. They start to get like
and they're
lane.
all huge hits. Like Matchbox 20 had 3 monster
my God.
hits.
And then Rob Thomas went on
Yeah,
to do
and then-
like
yeah, that
play
You're
with
So
fucking
Smooth.
Carlos Santana, maybe one of the biggest songs ever.
So like you take, but if you had told me that that Three Doors Down sang one of the Matchbox 20 songs, I would
You would-
I
you
would
would no
never
clue.
know. I would never know.
Yeah, by the
Same
way,
with Maroon 5. Who
Yeah.
was all, so
yeah, Jason Mraz was in there. Jessica Simpson started in that range. Fucking Kellis the Milkshaker. My milkshake brings the girl to the yard. She's
no-
in there.
in the vein of your pick of Papa Roach, Good Charlotte.
Oh God,
Yeah.
bad Charlotte. No.
So like they had the song about how lifestyles of the rich and the famous, always complaining. And then they proceeded to marry Nicole Richie and Cameron Diaz, respectively.
Yes.
So, yeah, lifestyles of the rich and the famous.
That's-
yeah, we're against them, but we're going to marry 2 of the richest, most famous people you
That's
can
right.
ever imagine.
That's what's right. Well, it was a brilliant strategy. They were negging them. It was they were like saying, "No, girl, you're fucking trash." But why don't you come back to my place?
And also in the hip hop
oh yeah, I had a couple
genre,
of those.
Black Eyed Peas.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, once they got into Fergie Town, oh man, did it go
you
bad.
could look at that and be like, By the way, listen, Kid Rock, who has got plenty in that area, he's also in that area. And but look, in fairness, Kid Rock was an honorable mention. At least you tried. We didn't choose you, but dude, you were fucking on my list.
Yeah.
I got news for you.
Yeah, I mean, Three Doors Down was the next on my list. Kryptonite.
Savage Garden I had.
Oh man,
I had Cisco, but he only had like one song. I couldn't
Three Doors
choose
Down went quadruple platinum with Kryptonite and Here Without You. Here Without You, baby.
I wish we were here without them. I wish they were somewhere else.
Well,
Fuck
good news.
that.
2 out of the 3 original members either ended up dead or in jail because of Oxy. So,
Yay!
there you go.
Hooray!
Close out the music on a win.
Yes.
All right. Yay.
Hey, all right.
All right, we're on to the next category.
All right, so now it's my turn.
That
to
is
spin.
you pick first, and now spin for you.
Here we go, and a go.
And if it shows up music, you just spin it
Spin again, yeah. Oh, baby. Come on, stay on it. Yeah!
Host indeed it
choice.
is.
So,
So you have 3 to choose from: movies,
See, I feel
TV,
like-
or fads.
here's my dilemma, folks, and I'll make this quick. Kevin disclosed to me earlier that he really wants the first pick in a specific category. So my gut is telling me maybe choose that. However, there
Maybe-
is some
maybe it was
really
a ruse.
bad.
Maybe it was a
that's-
ruse to get you to pick fads.
That's why I might not do it. So I think that I'm going to take it safe and go with movies.
That's a good. I mean, you have to, man. I would pick movies if I had the first pick.
Yes.
Oh boy, I am curious to see if you have the same first pick as me in this.
Listen,
because
there is so many bad movies from the 2000 to 2005 range. Unbelievable amounts of bad.
we discussed only doing movies and TV and just doing 16,
There was plenty.
16 on movies,
Plenty.
16 on TV, but we had to get music in there. It's really
bad. Yeah. So I'm between 2, but I think that I gotta do the practical pick, and again, probably the I guess what would you call it? The crowd pleasing pick
Yes.
here, because this movie was critically panned. 2003,
Yes.
one of the worst movies in the history of history,
Okay.
starring Ben Affleck, Al Pacino,
It's on my list.
and Jennifer Lopez, and that is Geely,
Yes.
the number 1 pick. And there's a lot that I could choose for number 1, but that one was so goddamn bad. I had to choose it.
Jeez, oh man, what a fucking dog shit movie.
What a dumb. It's a, first of all right, so let's just.
The cast is incredible. And
on the surface.
Yeah, and the premise isn't. So you have J-Lo, Ben Affleck, Christopher Walken, Al Pacino. I mean, this is the movie that killed Benifer. Remember?
Oh, this is what did it.
Yeah, this murdered Benifer.
Yeah. He was getting fucking. He was like, "Hey, what's up, girl?"
So for people who don't know, it's your pick. So you fill me in. I'll fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Listen. So again, 2003 movie. Some of the reviews, just to give you a little bit of a flavor for it, which is pretty rough, is there is truly no reason to see this film. 0 out of 4 stars. The film isn't just bad; it's jaw-droppingly bad. F. It's like the first draft of a one-set play that Neil Simon wisely abandoned and which then handed to Quentin Tarantino to spice up. It is god fucking awful. It is horrific.
So the premise of the movie was Ben Affleck was hired by a crime boss to kidnap the brother of a prominent district attorney, and J-Lo was basically sent to watch him so he doesn't mess up the job, and they fall blah 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 blah.
It's a rom-com, so right off the bat
in a hitman umbrella. Do you happen to know what the budget was versus how much it made?
I know how much it made. What was the budget? I'll fill in the blanks on that.
$75 million.
So unfortunately, this movie made domestically $5.7 million. Which, if you don't, I mean, I am no mathematician. That sounds like maybe one of the biggest bombs ever.
Yes, it is.
A bunch of actors got paid lots of money, were embarrassed, and said, "Whew, let's never talk about that again."
It is largely regarded as one of the biggest box office bombs in history. So another interesting fact, Martin Brest, who made not titties, but breast, made such classics as Beverly Hills Cop, Midnight Run, and Son of a Woman. He made this movie, and he never made another movie again.
Which he shouldn't.
It literally killed his career.
Midnight Run might be one of the best movies ever.
And yeah,
brilliant.
Son of a Woman won like all kinds of fucking
Oscars.
awards.
One of these for Pacino, who's in this movie, who's part of this amazing cast that the content and the direction had to have been so fucking bad that was that. Like, you just couldn't.
One of the reviews that I wrote down for because it was on my list, was Liam Lacey from the Globe and Mail said, "A hypnotic black hole of a movie that sucks reputations, careers, and goodwill down its vortex."
We often talk about, and we'll see, I'm sure, as we get through this, especially the entertainment components of this draft, you're going to find that people that make these kinds of mistakes, the really good people, like, okay, J-Lo was just in a movie called Hustlers that got critically acclaimed. It was a really good movie. Ben Affleck was in fucking Batman.
Yeah,
recently. He was in Argo after this.
Yeah, even if he wasn't good in Batman, he was Argo. What was the one he did with Casey Affleck where the girl got kidnapped? Is it The Town?
No. That's
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
No, he was in Gone Girl too.
And Gone Baby Gone, right?
Gone Baby Gone. That was
that was a good
something
one
gone.
So Ben Affleck,
they survived.
J-Lo, you're not gonna fuck with Pacino. He was in the fucking Godfather. He gets like literally he could shit on, like in front of a camera for 60 minutes and people be like, I don't know where he's going, but I loved him in fucking Son of a Woman. So we're gonna let this one pass.
And Walken.
But everybody else, I guarantee you, if we start going through these people and see what their careers, it's going to be barista, dead, other barista. Like that's.
Well, we talked about killing Martin Brest's career, and he made 3 incredible movies before this, and he never made another movie again.
And he's like, you know what? Maybe I should just quit while I'm ahead.
Seriously. All right, so
you got 2 now, my man.
All right. So I'm excited because my number 1 pick's still there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I got to guess as to which ones it could be.
All right. And it's not the one I texted you about yesterday.
No,
that's not my number 1
that's
pick,
a bad
but it's
one,
on the
though.
list. But
yep, same here.
This one, I had to take it as my number 1 pick. And that is 2000's Battlefield Earth.
So if you guys are a fan of giant John Travolta with dreadlocks in a sci-fi movie based around a religion that's not real.
So John Travolta plays an alien that looks like a Rastafarian in a science fiction movie based on the 1982 book by L. Ron Hubbard, the creator of Scientology. And I feel like if you hear that sentence, you know this is going to be a terrible movie.
Listen. He looked like a Rastafarian. It's fucking Chet Hanks, white boy apocalypse.
Dude, Travolta fought for years to get this movie made. No one will make it until he paid like millions of dollars out of his own pocket to co-produce it.
He said,
And
I'm
he
going to
had
do this thing.
And he had to co-produce it with an indie German film company, which is fitting because this is Scheiser porn at its finest.
Yeah, he's like, so, what do you think about the movie time?
Doing Scheiß again. Okie
Yes,
dokie.
I like this idea. Yes.
So it won Worst Movie of the Decade for
As it
2000 to 2010
So
from the
bad.
Razzies.
Yep.
It is largely considered one of the worst movies, if not the
Ever.
worst movie of
Ever.
all time. Rita Kempley from the Washington Post said, 1 million monkeys with 1 million crayons would be hard pressed in 1 million years to create anything as cretinous as Battlefield Earth. And then David Edelstein said from Slate said, a picture that will be hailed without controversy as the worst of its kind ever made.
Well, let's just, and again, we oftentimes, and when we've done this in the past, and of course we did it just a second ago, we'll say again, this movie had a budget of $73 million. And their total gross was 21 million.
It was totally gross. All right.
Because I'm sure there's people that are like the religious element of Scientology were probably like, oh, let's go see it. But like $21 million on a $73 million film. Bomaroo.
Yeah, it's
and nobody liked it. 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Like just God. Yeah.
All right,
Ugh,
so-
campy and poorly acted. Battlefield Earth is a stunningly misguided, aggressively bad sci-fi folly. Ouch!
so bad. Oh,
Travolta was reading that while he's getting massaged by a man. It's like,
so
rub lower.
it has a 9 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Terrible.
As does my second pick,
All right.
which you're going to be so mad because it is a sequel to one of your picks.
I know what
from
it
the
is.
Stinko de Mayo
Oh,
draft.
I know it.
It is Super Babies.
Oh!
Baby Geniuses 2.
Now listen.
Which came out in 2004. Also a 9 out of 100. The sequel to inaugural Stinko de Mayo pick Baby Geniuses. John Voight and Scott Baio star in a movie.
John Voight. So John Voight. National treasure John Voight. Do you know
Is he a
what?
national treasure anymore? I don't
Well,
think so.
but here's the
I mean,
problem.
just because he made Angelina Jolie doesn't make him a national treasure.
That is not why John Voight. John Voight is a fantastic actor. He's been
Yes.
been in iconic
He's also a
movies.
lunatic now.
I didn't say right now. I'm talking about then. He was in Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
he was.
he's in Deliverance. He's in like some iconic movies in iconic roles. I
And he's in
believe-
Super Babies, Baby Geniuses too.
Listen, you have a mortgage. What are you
Yes.
fucking? Come on, man. Be nice
Gotta-
to John Voight.
Would you care to explain the premise of Baby Geniuses?
Dude,
Baby Genius 2,
all right.
a movie that deserved no sequel for no reason.
Here's what I would ask you to do. Go back to last year's Stinko de Mayo and listen to the plot of that movie. That's the plot of this movie.
Yeah, so
it's the
it's-
same fucking thing. A bunch of genius
Talking babies with
basically.
Oh, these ones have superpowers now.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Super baby geniuses.
Yeah, now they're super babies. They were water baby geniuses. Now they have superpowers.
Can I just point out? Do you know how dangerous super baby geniuses would be? Because they have no like sense of anything. They don't know fucking firing laser beam eyes at a building is a bad thing. They're just like
You brought this up in the original Stinko de Mayo. You actually brought this movie up when you drafted the original Baby Geniuses. You said the sequel has a picture of a child shooting lightning out of his fingers.
That's right. Baby Geniuses 2.
It won the Worst Picture award from the Razzies.
And it should have.
And it was the last picture directed by Bob Clark before he died, which is fitting.
This definitely killed him. Those super babies took him out.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, it has the rare 0% approval.
It's
there was
very rare.
not one positive review. Joanne Kaufman from the Washington Post called it the unspeakably ghastly sequel to the merely ghastly original.
Can I just pose a theory here for a minute?
Yes. Hold on, I got one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Lou Lemenick from the New York Post called it spectacularly awful.
So
that is Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
yes. In Metacritic, it said it's got a score of 9 out of 100.
Yes.
And it's
Tied with Battlefield Earth for
the film's
9 out of-
moral: turn off the TV, youngins, and go outside and play, and avoid super babies.
Always
I mean,
avoid
listen,
Super Babies.
it's pragmatic advice. right? But I'd like to just put out there that maybe there was other influences involved here, because in previous podcasts we've talked about the danger of Scott Baio, and he is the second in command here on this this movie. So Scott Baio being involved in something, either, you know, it leads to bad things, as we've seen in the past.
100%. All right. You're on for 2. You're on for the 4th seed and the 5th seed.
One I know right off the bat I have to take, because it's one of my least favorite things that has ever existed ever.
Okay.
And it's the movie From Justin to Kelly.
100% on my list.
It was on your list.
For sure.
The crazy part is that some people that listen to this podcast will be like, who's Justin and who's Kelly, and why are they so terrible? So, Kevin, Justin Timberlake?
Nope.
Kelly Clarkson?
Yes, it's Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yes, it is. Actually, that failed.
I meant Kelly. From
anybody Kelly.
Who's Kelly? Who was it?
It's Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini, Philadelphia's own Justin Guarini, also known as Sweet from the Dr. Pepper commercials.
That's where he's
Little
at
Sweet.
So as you can see, his budding film career didn't work out for him, because now
bitch, I wish I was in Dr. Pepper commercials.
I mean, but we didn't decide to make from this piece of shit
man.
Justin to Kelly, which is terrible.
Yep, 2003. 14 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Garbage.
I mean,
so
do you need it?
They took people that were were they boyfriend and girlfriend?
No, they were the first two. No, they were the first 2 American Idol contestants, and they just mashed them together into some pseudo fake love story. No, they weren't dating at the time. He was just the runner-up. She won American Idol. It was basically just a giant commercial for American Idol. Like, do you ever need even more of an example that reality television is the bane of existence?
It is the worst thing ever. So listen to this. A waitress from Texas and a college student from Pennsylvania during spring break in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, come together and they share their love of singing, which literally, if you wanted to find a way, if I was a vampire, garlic, holy water, like that's what that is to me. Oh, great. I'm going to go watch a rom-com with these 2 fucking assholes that are good, that they share their love of singing.
Oh, it's not just a rom-com. It is considered a musical. It's actually a musical. They're singing throughout.
Hate this.
Yeah, dude. And the miracle is that both of them survived this and have careers. Like Kelly Clarkson's super famous.
Dude, we've already established. So there are things that happen sometimes when we talk about things like bad movies or something like that, bad TV shows. And sometimes what happens is that you excel. You sent me that, and I'll throw that clip in here. The Jason Bateman TV show that was a spinoff of something.
Oh, it was a spinoff of Silver Spoons.
Right. And what was it called?
It was some
Checkmate or something.
Yeah,
like
it was The Next Move or Your Next Move or whatever. It had a checkerboard in the background of the opening. Now, I think we talked about it when we talked to Sarah Tolamash.
Yes,
so it'll be in that episode.
It'll be the next episode. That next episode. But yeah, honestly, just goddamn awful, right? Yeah. So the reviews were not very
let's get into those.
Kind. More than anything, From Justin to Kelly needs Simon Cowell, the fork-tongued idol judge who gives the show its only sliver of tension. So obviously this was a dull.
Yeah.
Just one of those films, a bottomless well of snark fodder that may come and go in the theaters, but will surely be spun innumerable times on DVD. So people will be like basically laughing at the shit. Arguably the most insipid movie released so far this century.
In 2005, it won the Razzie for the worst musical in our 25 years.
It's
from the Razzies.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. 100% on my list. It's a fantastic pick.
Now,
your next pick,
Kevin.
Yes,
had said something about this, and I have to respectfully disagree with him. I have to have this in the actual tournament.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you The Room, our number 4 pick.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. I was
surprised that when you said, I'm not going to take it, because I was like, that is probably one of the worst movies ever.
I'll tell you why.
All right, go ahead.
One, I never heard of it really until it got the remake / light shined on it that actually ended up winning a frigging Oscar in the last couple of years. So, I never knew about it. And now that happened, it's got this like cult film status, like how, people go and go see Rocky Horror Picture Show at theaters. The Room has gotten that kind of, it's so bad that people will actually seek it out now. Like nobody's seeking out from Justin to Kelly and having it be in a cult status. It's not. But
the point is that.
But is it a terrible movie? 100%.
It's not just a terrible. I mean, you have to really appreciate the nuance. It's so bad that they made a movie with James Franco and Seth Rogen called The Disaster Artist.
Yes.
Because this movie was a disaster. This guy has a weird accent that we can't really figure out. Hi, Mark. He's like, he's like at the fucking. He
just took his own money, had a bunch of money. He's like, fuck it, I'm making a movie.
And but he's the worst actor like ever. Did you ever see? And I'll throw it in here. His tryout for the Joker.
Oh no.
Hi, this is Tommy Wiseau, creator of The Room. Let me introduce you to the new Joker. Ah! Ah!
Yeah, we rolling?
Tommy Joker tape 2 kilo.
What doesn't kill you make you stranger. Ah! Joker. It's simple. We killed the Batman. Have you ever danced with a devil in the pale moonlight? Did you? No, but I did.
Oh God, it's so bad, dude. I will show. I'm telling you, it is an abomination. And just the not understanding that you don't have to acknowledge the people in the room when you leave the room. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, bye. I'm leaving now. It's like every as
time
you can tell, I'm walking out the door to this side.
So bad.
Yeah, dude. It got a 9 on Metacritic. A 9.
Yeah, that's Battlefield Earth territory right there.
Yes,
that is Baby Geniuses 2 territory. 9 out of 100.
Yeah, it's literally everyone understand. I mean, if he made it. And if you've ever heard him interviewed, you would know that he did not make it to be ironic. It would be hilarious.
He thought he was making the greatest movie ever.
He was not.
There's a video game called Borderlands. Their third iteration, Borderlands 3. They actually had like a side mission where this guy was like basically playing the character of what's his name that made this movie?
Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau. So he's basically playing the character of him. You have to like go find his like movie clips to put together to make his great movie. It's hilarious. If you're a gamer and you play Borderlands, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's friggin' hilarious. So any reviews on that garbage pile?
Oh, plenty. It is, in short, the nay plus ultra of crap. A trash masterpiece.
A trash masterpiece.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's fantastic.
To make a movie that's so bad it's good, you need vision, drive, luck, and obsessive vanity. Fortuitously, The Room's writer, producer, director, star Tommy Wiseau appears to possess all of these qualities combined with a total lack of acting talent. That is a backhanded compliment if I've ever seen one in my entire life.
100%. It's a good pick, man. I only removed it because it achieved cult status. That's the only reason I didn't take it.
It's still on the surface.
Oh, yeah. It's still one of the worst movies ever made.
It's horrible.
Well, I'm glad you took that because it lets me take this, which was next on my list. Do you like Dana Carvey from Wayne's World and Saturday Night Live? Then you will hate this. Do you hate Dana Carvey? Well, then you will hate this even more. I'm talking about 2002's Master of Disguise. 12 out of 100. It
didn't even deserve that. I would have given it like negative something. It's so fucking bad. If you've ever seen it, like, so
if you hold on,
go ahead.
If you Google Master of Disguise, you will get from the people also ask section, why is Master of Disguise so bad? And is Master of Disguise the worst movie ever?
So it got a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is a 0%.
0%
is
was
an accomplishment. 0%, by the way, 0% could be trolling. 1%, I have more faith that somebody was like, oh, no, it's for me. You know? That's like, what the fuck, man?
Dude, Dana Carvey plays a character named, and I'm not fucking making this up. This is his character's name. Pistachio Disguisey. In a movie called Master of Disguise, his last name is Disguisey. A waiter at his father Fabrizio's Italian restaurant who possesses an uncanny knack for mimicry.
It is so goddamn bad. Kevin fucking nailed it.
What he doesn't know is his talent is genetic, and he's a descendant from a long line of masters of disguise who have all inherited the secret family gift known as, and I shit you not, Energico. So they basically just Italianed up words energy and disguise.
Yes. He's got the gabagool.
and made his first name. His first name's Pistachio, and he works in an Italian restaurant.
Why isn't this movie getting canceled? There's racist against my people.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. Dude, I challenge you to watch 30 minutes of this movie. It's only 65 minutes long. I swear to God.
No,
and then the credits are like they made like 25 minutes credits to make it 90 minutes long. I'm not kidding.
It is so goddamn bad.
Dude,
it's one of the worst movies.
You will claw your own eyes out and stuff them in your ears.
Listen,
just stop it from happening.
Here's what happened. Poor Dana Carvey. And what was Wayne's World?
Wayne's World was in the 90s.
It was in the 90s, right?
Early to mid 90s.
Wayne's World 2, and he was on Saturday Night Live. So
He's doing. I mean, like people loved his characters, the church lady,
dude,
and
he was
all
in
that
Three
stuff.
Amigos. No, he wasn't. Three Amigos. Martin Short was us. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. I thought about Martin Short. But this fucker, like, literally had to find something to do, and he decided, who looks at a script where your name is Pistachio Disguisey and says,
Disguisey.
You know what? This is the one.
I wish it was Despisey because I despise this movie.
Yes. I wish someone disguised this as something else.
So
trash.
Keith Phipps from the AV Club says it's a film about as funny as a seeping wound.
That's not what you want to hear from a top critic.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's bad. Like it's a misfire. This misfiring disaster shows just how overestimated Carvey's writing and acting talent has been.
Yeah.
That is a big ouch.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oof.
So,
goddamn.
My next pick, which will be the 7 seed before we move on to you for the 8th and final pick.
Don't take mine.
I'm going to stick with the cast of Saturday Night Live. Do you like Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop and Saturday Night Live?
I do.
Then you will hate this. Do you hate Eddie Murphy? Then you will hate this even more.
Which is?
2002's The Adventures of Pluto Nash. A 12 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Terrible, man.
A waste of time, talent, and money. Pluto Nash stars Eddie Murphy as a nightclub owner on the moon in 2087 that is in hot water because he won't sell his club to, quote unquote, lunar gangsters.
Hey,
moon gangsters. Yes. We're whalers on the moon. We carry a harpoon.
Well, no, I was thinking about the actual, like the fucking the robot mafia. My name's Blotto. It's got grit. It's got street cred. Yeah, like
clamps.
Clamps. Don't call them clamps.
So the cast, ready? Randy Quaid, Rosario Dawson, Luis Guzman, Jay Moore, Eddie Murphy. It's basically like a sea of amazing comedians.
Yes. With the worst material ever to work with.
Couldn't save this meteor of feces from rocketing into the earth. Adventures of Pluto Nash is one of the worst movies, and you back to back that up in the same year with Master of Disguise from Dana Carvey. You have two of the worst movies in the same year from SNL cast members.
That's bad.
Wesley Morris of the Boston Globe called it cosmic slop.
That's amazing.
A horrible, horrible, horrible movie. All right.
Wow, dude.
So you are on.
So that was number 7, right?
Yep.
And I get one more pick.
Yep.
There's so much bad. We're gonna have leftovers, man.
For sure.
It's gonna be like a big dinner here. So,
Yeah,
So number 8
ranking these was so hard.
is one of the hardest things we've ever done in the movie section in particular. So number 8, I'm going to take. Oh my God, I'm between two. I could even tell you what the two are.
Yeah, go for it, because I'm done my pick, so I'll tell you if they're on my list or not.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, 100%.
When Harry Met Lloyd.
Yeah, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Ballistics X versus Sever.
Not on my list, but I was definitely in consideration when I narrowed things down, because I had to narrow things down to 10.
Yes.
That was in there. It was in before
I had
narrowed
one
it down.
more too that was like right on the cusp.
Okay.
Son of the Mask.
Oh, I did not have Son of the Mask on there.
Jamie Kennedy vehicle. So it's great. Really quality acting, hilarious.
So what do you pick?
Busting. I'm gonna pick Dumb and Dumber when Harry Met Lloyd. Come on.
To.
So they were like, okay, and this is a perfectly Hollywood thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Which is,
we proved this in the first Stinko de Mayo.
Look, do we need Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels to carry this? No. We can just get some random dudes with bad haircuts, throw them in here, and call it a prequel.
Yeah.
And hope that somebody goes and sees this piece of shit.
Yep. Like we talked about it. It's like a movie based on a previous hit with none of the previous cast.
None of the like great
charm, none of the funny.
Nothing.
Like Dumb and Dumber is like one of the like a comedy classic, man.
It's so fucking funny because it was so unexpected and so they were so stupid.
Yeah.
But the people made it. So when you take the people out, guess what you have? Just stupid.
Yeah.
That's it.
Horrible.
What were they doing?
Harry met Lloyd, when fucking Harry and Lloyd met in high school in the 80s. So they got to, get the 80s references in there too.
One of my favorite critic reviews I saw was, this lame prequel includes more groans than laughs. Rent the original instead. And I agree. Fuck this fucking film. It stinks.
Real Views. James Bertolini from Real View said, no movie could be more aptly compared to raw sewage than this film.
You never want to hear that about your film.
No, indeed.
No.
So that wraps up movie. So
let's go through the 8 that we have, my friend.
So we got, hold on. Sorry.
That's okay.
Lost my spot. I'm just putting Dumb and Dumber in.
Yeah, I can
got
roll
it.
through
It's Geely 1, Battlefield Earth 2, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2, 3, From Justin to Kelly 4, The Room 5, Master of Disguise 6, The Adventures of Pluto Nash 7, Dumb and Dumber a strong 8.
So there were some
honorable mentions. So you had mentioned a couple.
Yep. What do you have?
So there were one that just I have to mention because it offends my nerd sensibility so much is Catwoman.
Oh,
the 2004 vehicle from
that was bad.
Halle Berry. I took Batman and Robin in the first Stinko de Mayo.
Yes,
so that was terrible. This is probably worse.
I hated that movie.
It's largely viewed as one of the worst like comic book / superhero movies of all time. And then, oh boy, this one was this. I almost picked this one.
Okay.
Down to You, which is Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julia Stiles. Dude, there was this weird 3-year fascination with Freddie Prinze Jr. for some
They
reason.
really dug him in the early 2000s.
Yeah, dude.
He is everywhere.
Yeah.
And then fun fact, he became a head writer for the WWE.
Oh, no shit. I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
Well, Down to You.
He got fired, though, because like in 2000 to 2003, or whenever he was popular, he sucked.
Dude, it was bad. And
was not his father.
What about you? Do you have anything else?
I did.
We take a break and then come back.
The Cat
and do the
in
other
the
two.
Hat.
Ah, yes. So I backed up. I had 3 on my list. I had the 3 SNL movies in a row: Master Disguise, Adventures of Pluto Nash, and then Cat in the Hat. Do you like Mike Myers from Waits Rodents SNL Live?
No.
Do you hate him? Well, you're gonna hate this more.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
dude,
like the same.
It's so
SNL. They just
terrible.
took those and made awful dog shit movies.
This was someone's bad idea. I also had
with before you move on from Cat in a Hat.
Yes.
I read written down here that the basis of the movie is the cat comes to like play with the kids when the parents are away.
Then he trashes their house.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you're gonna wish that one of the kids was Luca Magnotta. Oh man. If you don't get that reference, go watch Don't
it's
Fuck
great.
with Cats, the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, totally. If he would have showed up, this whole thing you didn't have to clean up quickly before your mom got home.
The New York Times, the review kind of had is great. It said, a vulgar, uninspired lump of poisoned eye candy. Yeah, it's bad. What else you got?
I had Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
Oh, Jesus Christ on a cross.
When I tell you there were so many movies, I literally deleted like 10 out of my list. I had so many. I'm like, these are all really bad.
Like, look at my list. That was my list.
That's exactly it.
I talked to you about, I said, Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. Didn't even make my top 10.
We didn't choose something with Stephen Baldwin in it.
Dude, we didn't choose something with Mariah Carey in it.
That's bananas.
Yeah. Glitter.
Yeah.
Then you got, although there is a scene in this movie that I like, the Tom Green movie, Freddy got fingered, which is, did he lick some sausage?
Yeah, that I like too. But I totally agree.
Oh, man. Another Ben Affleck gem, Reindeer Games.
Oh, God, damn it.
Then you have all the cartoon movies. Garfield.
Yep. There was this 2 Scooby-Doos.
Scooby-Doos.
Double. 2. They had fucking 2.
Yep. And then you have like the shitty action movies. Get Carter.
Oh, with Ballistics X versus Sever. That's one that was on my list.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yep. And The Watcher with Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
All these like rated under 30.
Yeah, that film was The Not Watcher.
And this is just
I'm not going to be the Watcher.
This is 5 years, folks. 5 years.
Just 5 years of garbage.
And then a wrestling one for you. Do you know what it is?
No. Which one?
It starred one of the guys who got into wrestling and actually had a documentary made about him almost dying while wrestling.
Ready
to Rumble.
Right, with fucking David Arquette.
Yep.
Because he got stabbed in the neck in a death match. So, say what you want about this guy. David Arquette
But then I got a 23 out of 100 on.
And it deserved it, I guarantee you. But David Arquette actually wrestled in WCW in the 90s, and he won the world championship. It was a fucking joke, really.
Yeah, of
but the guy, what he did was, he was so into it, he got like in really good shape, and then he started actually doing really hardcore like ECW type matches, like fucked up like light bulbs over the fucking head
fluorescent light bulbs and fucking barbed wire and all
that's
that
what got him.
Yeah.
He got stabbed with a shattered fluorescent. This is like a fucking
true story
alley fight, and he got stabbed and was bleeding out of his fucking neck, and they had to take him to the hospital.
They took one in the jugular, man.
Yeah.
Probably because he made Royal Rumble the movie.
Yeah. Or he did lots of
Ready
cocaine.
to Rumble, excuse me.
Yes.
One more I have to mention, and then we'll take a break and move on to the last two categories. Just because I know you hate Tim Allen, and I know you hate when Tim Allen makes Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Christmas with the Cranks was in 2000 was a 22.
I'd rather have Christmas with the Kevorkians. Fuck that.
100%. All right.
Yick.
Take a break for some ads and we'll be back.
2 seconds, folks. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang.